want to call this meeting to order. Roll call. Is it on? Okay. I want to call meetings to order. I want to get a roll call. We have Honorable Dr. Luis Alamia, Ms. Minga Vela, Ms. Carmen, myself, Mr. David Torres, Ms. Letty Garcia, and Ms. Letty Flores, and we have our attorney here, and our superintendent of schools. So we do have a quorum. Prayer, pledge of allegiance, and text pledge by Ms. Dominga Minga Vela.
Please bow your heads. Our Heavenly Father, we bow our heads before Thee this evening, giving thanks and rejoicing as we enter this beautiful Christmas season. Help us to place emphasis on those things which are most important as we commemorate the birth of the Christ child by remembering the deeper meaning behind this joyous holiday. We ask this in Thy holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Dr. Salinas, certification of public notice.
I certify that the agenda was posted in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act.
Okay. Superintendent's report, letter A, TAA rated campuses.
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Salinas.
Yes, sir, we have Dr. Sonia Rodriguez making a presentation along with the rest of the executive team.
Good evening, School Board President, Mr. Javier Salinas, school board members, Dr. Mario H. Salinas, and legal counsel. My name is Dr. Sonia Rodriguez, and I am the Chief Academic Officer, and this evening I am honored and excited to announce that we are here to recognize 14 of Edinburgh Consolidated Independent School District campuses that earned an A rating in the 2025 TA Accountability System for their star performance. This rating at each individual campus reflects a strong instruction happening in each classroom, consistent student growth, and a commitment to academic excellence by each member of the team, led by their school principal. Each campus leader has demonstrated focus, teamwork, and high expectations for both students and staff. We are here tonight to honor the principals of these A-rated schools and the staff that they represent, with a plaque to commemorate this achievement. Principals, when your campus is called, please come forward to receive this special award. Austin Elementary, Maria Lourdes Lopez, Principal. Canterbury Elementary, Ms. Denise De Leon, Principal. Crawford Elementary, Ms. Catherine Salazar, Principal. Descandon Elementary, Ms. Zulema Garcia, Principal. Flores Zapata Elementary, Araceli de los Santos, Principal. Freddy Gonzalez Elementary, Ms. Naida Torres, Principal. Macaria Corena Elementary, Oneida Colunga Gaitan, Principal. Jefferson Elementary, Ms. Ana Salinas, Principal. Lyndon B. Johnson Elementary, Dr. Enrique de la Cruz, Principal. Alfonso Ramirez Elementary, Ms. Priscilla Trigo, Principal. Trevino Elementary, Ms. Brenda Alonso could not be with us tonight. She has a campus event, so we want to make sure to announce her name because they earned that A rating. So Ms. Brenda Alonso from Trevino Elementary. Memorial Middle School, Dr. Hugo Leal, Principal. Edinburgh Collegiate High School, Marisol Martinez Abrego, Principal. Robert Vela High School, Ms. Michelle Peña, Principal. Principal, your work behind brings pride to our district and sets a standard for performance. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you to the board and the administration, teachers and support staff, and the families that are working together made this milestone possible at Edinburgh CISD. Truly, we are stronger together. If the board can please join us up front to take a picture with the executive directors and the principals. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I just want to let the principals know, I want to congratulate you guys for the A. Some of you are new to your schools, and you already have an A, so we already set the tone for you, so don't drop your A. Of course, you hear this board say we want an A. Thank you. And we know that I would love to have all campuses here with the A's, but you guys are that special group that went that extra effort. I know as a former principal for 10 years, I was an A every single year. And it doesn't happen by chance, right? It happens with a lot of hard work from your kids, your parents, your staff, and you guys, because you guys are the ones there every single day, responsible for everything that goes on at your campus. So keep it up. We want to see another A next year. It's awesome when you have all those wooden plaques all over the place, because that just shows some of your work. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees, thank you, and let's give them a round of applause. Okay, next we have the safety film update. Dr. Salinas.
Yes, sir, we have Ms. Julie Perez, Maintenance and Operations Director.
Good evening, Board. Mr. President, Javier Salinas, board members, and Dr. Salinas. I'll be presenting on the safety window film update.
Part of the superintendent's report.
There's a folder that was left on everyone's chair.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
I think they're super excited.
The scope of the project is to install 8 mil shatter resistant film, and our contractor addressing this is LeWolf Window Tint and Film Solutions. They're from Magnolia, Texas. It is being funded by the safety grant. The contractor's commitment is 2 crews, which is 4 employees. I know that we have our maintenance employees as well, one employee per crew. And they are walking around with them at the campuses. We have key that we don't want to give the contractors, of course, so we walk with them throughout the whole project to open doors as needed. Their schedule is Monday through Sunday. They are living here in the valley, so they're solely focused on our district. They're moving very quickly. So they started on November 8th, and they've completed 30 campuses already. They started with one crew, but they quickly got another crew down here, and they are knocking them out really quickly. So just over the weekend, from Friday to Sunday, they completed 10 schools. So I anticipate them finishing by the end of this weekend, but they do have to come back and do some touch-ups as needed. And there aren't a lot, but they will complete the entire project by 12/31.
Good, so they're on track.
They're on track.
On those touch-ups,
Yes.
I know that this is a film project, but are we gonna have like a whole punch list with them and go over the films or the windows that we have issues with and mark them up for them?
Yes. We will be having a punch list for them, and they're going to address everything before they leave.
Okay. And I put this on the agenda, board members, because, you know, it was an out-of-state, out-of-valley company, and I wanted to make sure that the safety of our staff is super important to me. And we also put liquidated damages on their contracts, so they don't finish on time, they get charged $500 a day. So I think that gives them a little bit, a boost of energy to get these done quicker for us.
Mr. President, if I may, one last thing, just make sure that the principals, of course, the leaders of the school, that they give that also the seal of approval.
The checkoff.
Yes.
Once they're, you know, little things that they might see that we don't see, that y'all don't see.
We have been communicating with the campuses, and they are aware of when we are at their campuses as well as when we finish and when we'll go back as well. And we've given them care instructions as well for their staff.
One other thing, Dr. Salinas, that to make aware that I know that this is just an extra type of deterrent, but we need to let our principals know that a bullet still goes through here. And don't think that just because you have film that you're safe. They got to still keep all eyes on deck to make sure that everybody that walks into school should be there and to just be alert. Because I don't want them to think, oh, we got bulletproof film. A bullet still goes through it, okay? I've seen the videos. It's just an extra deterrent, and I just want to make sure that we still have our safety eyes hat on every time. Thank you. Next, facilities update. Dr. Salinas.
Yes, sir. We have Jose Luis Villarreal, the Director of Facilities.
Thank you, ma'am.
With this update. And this item was recommended by Carmen Gonzalez when we reviewed the board agenda on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Board President, board members, Dr. Salinas, Legal Counsel, Administration and Community. My name is Joe Villarreal, Director for Facilities, and I will be giving an update on our construction projects. First project I'm going to go over is the Canterbury and Cavazos Elementary Roof Improvements. The architect for this project is CG5 Architect. The contractor is SLR Building Contractors. The construction cost for this project is $1,359,000. Just a brief description, the notice to proceed was issued August 4th, 2025. This project consists of re-roofing the existing campus building. Work includes a sprayed-in-place overlay with a spray foam cover over the existing roof conditions. Roof areas are to be finished with an elastomeric coating system with granule surfacing over the spray foam coating. The final completion of these projects is scheduled for January 3rd, 2026. At Canterbury, the contractor prepared the surface and applied 2 inches of closed-cell foam with 2 layers of roof coating at all roof sections. The final coat with granules is in progress for all roof sections, and the metal work such as gutters, downspouts, and trims is ongoing. Overall, this project is approximately 90% complete. At Cavazos,
I have a question here, sir.
Sorry.
Mr. Rodriguez, real quick. as we're doing these roofing projects, all the HVAC units on the roof, do we have our own staff member up there ensuring that, you know, they don't trap all the gutters and all that, where we can't get to them when they need to be addressed by our staff?
Yeah, so part of the project, they were supposed to cover anything that could get damaged with the foam, like, for example, AC units, vents, exhaust fans, stuff like that. That was supposed to be covered just to protect it from the foam spraying.
Okay, but have we sent staff to be inspecting as they're doing to make sure?
So as they're finishing, so they just finished Cavazos, so we're actually gonna go out there and inspect that one. And then once they're done at Canterbury, then we'll go and inspect that one as well. And of course, do a punch list for the contract.
Mr. President, one thing on Canterbury, Dr. Salinas, I know that right in front of the gym, because of the experience we went through with Canterbury, there was an area that needed to be extra high at the time. I think Ms. Gonzalez, you remember. So I just want to make sure you can get with Dr. Salinas and he'll tell you exactly where that's at, just to make sure that it's done properly.
Sure.
While they're there. We talked about it several times.
I think I know where you're
You know what,
talking
it was going to go because of the
Right.
design of the older
Right.
school. So, okay. Thank you.
Board President, I wanted to ask, they're going to be working then through the holidays to have the completion done for January 3rd before school starts?
Correct, and actually, they should be done within 2 weeks at Canterbury. Cavazos is done, they're working on the punch list. Canterbury should be in about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
Mr. Salinas, Javier Salinas, the question that you mentioned, also the other staff that make sure that they're spraying the foam per the document, for the construction documents, are the architects. They're up there protecting our interest as well.
Good.
To make sure that the contractor is doing it according to the plans. And the architects are out there inspecting it like daily to make sure that that is happening.
I'm glad that's happening, Dr. Sines. Good job on that, because we need to make sure, because I've experienced that's, I love this type of roof product because it seals every single crack and nothing's gonna get through it. But if you overspray around the air cons in the ceiling, you're stuck. To get them out, it's gonna take a lot of work.
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, we met with the architect on some of these projects because he saw things that maybe weren't to spec. And so we met with the team and with the contractor and with the architect to make sure that in fact, it's to spec.
Good. Good to know. Good job.
And then on that next slide, is some aerial pictures that we took. Figure 1 and 2 is at Canterbury, and figure 3 and 4 is at Cavazos. Next project is the B.L. Garza and Transportation Department roof improvements. Architect is ERO Architects. The contractor is Aircool Tech. And the construction cost is $1,195,653 with 12 cents. Notice to proceed was issued on November 18th. The roof areas are to receive 2-inch spray foam coating and finish with an elastomeric coating system with granule surfacing as well. At B.O. Garza, the contractor has installed temporary fencing for the staging of material, and some of the material has been delivered to the site, and the contractor will begin with the prep work of the roof surface this week, and once all that is complete, then the foam coatings will begin. Overall, this project is approximately 10% complete. We just got off the ground on that one, so that's why it's only 10%. But the contractor has 120 days from the notice to proceed to be substantially complete for both B.O. Garza and the transportation building.
So on this one, Mr. President, we wanted to make sure that this new contractor successfully completes it to the way we like it done at ECISD. So we're leaving that you and Mario to make sure that we push them to do it the way we do things here. You know, so that they can prove themselves.
Sure.
So, okay, thank you.
And the pictures, figure 5 and 6 are at B.O. Garza. You can see on figure 6 where they put that temporary fencing with the material. And figure 7 and 8 is at the transportation building, which will get reworked as well.
Let's go ahead.
Next project is the Edinburgh Multi-Use Buildings. The architect is CG5 Architect, contractors SLR Building Contractors. Construction cost was $550,357 each for a total of $2,201,428. Notice to proceed was issued on August 15th. This project consists of new athletic multi-use buildings for district use. The new buildings will be metal frame structure with metal panel walls and ceilings, air-conditioned open space. District Maintenance and Operations Department will run, and currently are running, electrical power and communication from existing building to the designated location at the new building. Final completion is scheduled for January 19th, weather permitting. Edinburgh High School, the concrete foundation has been completed. The contractor has begun with the rigid frame structure, and the metal wall and ceiling panels will begin getting installed this week. This project at Edinburgh High School is 55% complete. At Edinburgh North, the concrete foundation is complete. The structure, the steel frame has been fabricated, and it's ready to get delivered to the site, which should be by the end of the week. This project is approximately 40% complete.
Sir, can we go back to figure 9, Econ High School?
Figure 9.
I just have a question. On that overhang lip of the sheet metal, is that to the south or to the north?
That is actually to the east.
To the east?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I was thinking of the wind-driven rain coming in from the south. The
Oh,
rain,
okay,
when
okay.
the storms
No,
come
it's
this way,
actually-
and it's gonna be driving so that wouldn't have helped, but
Yeah.
east is good.
It's to the east, and that's covering a potential storage for
Okay.
athletics.
So as we move forward, Ms. Fariel, I know that you're newer to this district, and some of the things, Doctor, we gotta consider is, which, if we're gonna do a facade like that overhangs, just consider the storms, which way they come. Because if you get that wind-driven rain, the kids are gonna get all wet, and the coaches. So if we're gonna do facades, do it where the rain's not blowing in. So the east was a good call on that one.
Right.
So on these, Doctor, sir, these are, when is wrestling? Were we gonna use these for what, Dr. Salinas? A lot of wrestling or?
They're during wrestling season, sir, because the mats are really, they don't want, the coaches don't want to be moving the mats
Right, there you go.
and removing them and storing them and removing them. During the wrestling season, it's gonna be used for wrestlers. After the wrestling season, it'll be open for tumbling groups, for other groups. That facility probably gonna be used 7 days a week, my guess, at the high school. For all the different groups that have all kinds of, all kinds of practice sessions that need that kind of space. It could be the flag girls, it could be the dance girls, it could be the ROTC, it could be the football team, any number of groups. My guess that this building is gonna be used as much as a library.
You said January something was the final?
That is the final completion date, of course, and that's why I said weather permitting, because there are already some weather days that they're requesting, because
Okay.
when they started, we got.
I was real hopeful because then we might be able to use them this year.
Yes.
That's the goal. I mean,
Should be
that's good.
done, Economida should be done right after the holidays, or close to.
Good.
That's
Good.
good.
That's good. Good, okay.
And then at Economides, talking about that school, the contractor has completed the erection of the building. Metal wall and ceiling panels have been installed, along with trim and gutters. Interior metal AC duct has been complete. Door frames and hardware are currently being installed, and the electrical work has also commenced. This project is approximately 75% complete. And at Robert Vela, we do have the foundation, the concrete foundation is complete, and the structure will be delivered as soon as they complete Edinburgh North. So that one is 40% complete.
So Robert Vela's running a little bit further behind.
A little bit, yeah. So as the crews start, advancing or progressing in work, on the other ones, they'll start moving to those other schools.
Is that located right behind the stadium? Is that the one?
It next to the tennis courts?
Next to the tennis courts, yeah,
Yes, sir.
between the stadium and the tennis
Yes.
courts.
Yeah, right behind the portables. Next project is the Harwell Middle School chiller replacement project. Engineer is Sigma Engineering. Contractor is Continental Refrigeration. Construction cost for this project was $560,000. The equipment cost was $606,000 for a total of $1,166,000. Notice to proceed was issued August 1st. This project consisted of replacing 3 air-cooled chillers and the demolition of the existing chillers. It also included new chill water piping above floor, and electrical was extended to the chiller location. Existing pipe beam supports were removed and new galvanized steel pipe supports with concrete footings were installed. Currently, the contractor has completed installing all chill water pipe and pipe installation. Electrical service along with control valves have been completed. The startup of the new chillers has also been completed. In fact, the new chillers are currently providing cooling to the building. The DDC controls are being finalized with graphics showing the new equipment. Test and balance of the new equipment will begin by the end of this week, if not early next week. Engineer will be submitting a punch list to the contractor for review by the end of this week, or I'm sorry, next week. The anticipated final completion of this project is January of this upcoming year. And I included a couple of aerial pictures and where you can see the chiller pad, or the chiller location with the new chillers and the old chillers already removed.
Good.
And figure 17 is showing those supports with the new pipe above. Same thing for figure 18, 19, and 20.
So all these, are any of these pipes located in sidewalk areas?
It is, well, it's actually a fenced chiller yard. So there's, nobody should be in there, with the exception of some kitchen staff that walk on the side of it, but not under the
Okay, thank you.
pipe. At Edinburgh North High School drainage improvements, the engineer is SDI Engineering. Contractor is Synergy Development and Construction. Construction cost is $741,629 with 40 cents. The notice to proceed was issued on October 15th. The project consists of adding a large detention pond and new drainage to alleviate campus flooding during strong storms. There's also some existing trees that will be removed and various tree trimming throughout the campus. Construction submittals have been reviewed and approved by the engineers. Currently, the contractor has completed the 36-inch RCP pipe and manhole installation going from Edinburgh North High School property to the Truman Elementary property. They have also completed the underground drainage pipe near the campus on the north side of the main building. Some tree removal and trimming around the campus has begun and will continue throughout the holiday break. The drainage district, along with Precinct 4, have been excavating and hauling off dirt for the detention pond, and they should be complete by the end of this week with the dirt.
Mr. Ward, I have a quick question. I know that Edinburgh North has been a big problem, right, Dr. Salinas, to us? Are we communicating with the city and their engineers and their planners that how, working in conjunction with them to, I know this is gonna hopefully solve all that drainage issue, but are we working with the city or talking to somebody over there to come look at it to see if they can add anything to it now that we're digging it up? I don't know if there's lines around there where they can increase their capacity of their lines as we're digging up all this RDF here.
Yeah, so I know initially we did meet with all the entities that were going to be part of the project as a pre-construction meeting. And as far as your question on lines, I know that we're tying in to a drainage district line, if I'm not mistaken, at the Truman side of the property. That's where we're tying in, but the detention pond is meant to hold most of that water that was staying behind near the campus that was causing all the flooding. So with the new drainage and new lines that are getting installed, all that water should funnel to the detention pond. And then from there, we're adding a drainage pipe, tying into the drainage district.
How big is that pipe we're tying into?
It's 36 inches, and a section of it is 24 inches.
So we're choking down to a 24 or no?
So it starts off at the detention pond as a 24-inch, and then as it travels through, going east to west, it goes to a 36-inch pipe.
So I noticed that this is 80% complete. That's outstanding. So, Ms. Ayala, I was hoping that maybe you could, have you all documented any of this on footage, on video? Because this is big for Edinburgh North.
Mr. Villarreal, they keeping track through drone video, drone
You have? Good.
archives and things.
That's good.
Because it really is a big project, and I'm glad that it's at 80% already. I mean, time
Yeah.
flies.
Yeah, they're moving really fast, actually.
They
Busy
really are.
bodies, calladitos, but been working is good.
Well, and we need to say this again. Precinct 4, Eli Torres, and the Drainage District, Raul Cecin, I mean, they're contributing more than $1 million
Yes.
into this project. We couldn't have done it without those partners. Number one. Number two, they work extremely fast.
Yeah.
They're fast
At
at what they do.
80%
are.
from the time that we left Thanksgiving, and
Yes.
so I'm just,
They work
I'm
fast.
happy.
Yeah.
Mr. President,
Yeah, they're working
sir.
really.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vidal, is there a way that we can get with Ms. Lisa Ayala, our PR personnel, so that way we can, maybe those videos that you're taking, we can share it with the community, so that way we can show them the progress that we're making in the phases, so they can see how much we've done already in such a short period of time, because it's something that's been very much needed at Edinburgh
Yeah.
North for the longest time, ever since I was in school there, so even
Yeah,
before then,
we'll do that.
please.
And if I may, Mr. President, I agree with Mr. Torres and Dr. Lamia that we should be that transparent to our community and show them. And as David Torres said, muy calladitos, but they're doing the work in conjunction with Precinct 4, so that not only the school district, but the precinct, our community, knows that we're working together, and do it in phases, as we're saying, so that the community says, wow, that's phenomenal. So we don't brag about ourselves as much as we should. So let's do a little bit bragging
Sure.
on this.
Yeah, we do need to brag,
Yeah.
if I may. Had it not been for Precinct 4 Commissioner Torres, who came forward to say, hey, I want to help, let me talk to the Hidalgo County Drainage District with Mr. Sassin, and they came up with that plan to where they're donating their time to help the district to do what is being done.
And they were
And
there
they
since-
should be acknowledged and given the credit.
They were there since day one. Since
They
we
have
gave them
been.
notice to proceed, they were there, and they haven't, gone
They've-
off. and-
They've been a big help and a big blessing to
Yeah.
the district.
So,
President Torres and I went to talk to Raul Cecin about the project. It didn't take him 5 minutes to agree to help us.
They do it.
and right now, I want to shout out to Commissioner Torres and Raul Cecin. I know Mr. Cecin lives here in Edinburgh, so I know that he's happy to continue to do more things with Eli Torres. So if there's other schools that we need do some RDFs and digging around, all we got to do is ask.
Yeah, we
Because
do.
commissioners are very good to work in conjunction with us, so.
They're
an
helping all
applause.
our constituents.
And before you continue, sir, like Dr. Lamia and the board is saying, we need to be, in the PR department, more proactive to put out there the good things that are happening. You look at all these roofs. These roofs are amazing projects that we're doing for the city, for the school. Sorry, I'm thinking Westaco, for the school. This RDF will alleviate that flooding, because every time it rains, Edinburgh North starts showing those videos, and it's just sad seeing kids walking through water, cars getting stuck. So, good things are happening. We just gotta be more proactive. And I'd like to talk to the board later to do a state of the school district type of event, so we can showcase everything in a slideshow, the good things that are going on.
Yeah, one of the benefits of hiring Mr. Villarreal, we had a drone with video recording capabilities, but it was in a package because we couldn't fly it. Mr. Villarreal is a drone pilot, and he started using it right away, and he's produced
Well,
pretty good
good.
video.
Is he gonna do the cook-off too and everything?
I don't know, I can be a judge. Yeah, so we'll take all those comments and questions.
Thank you.
into- And actually, I wanted to make a comment, is if we can, with Dr. Salinas' approval, send an invitation to the board whenever these projects start getting completed, So if you guys, set a date and time maybe and go visit, go look at it and walk it so you can see with your eyes, what these projects consist of.
Yeah, I think we can be more proactive. Doc, I know that Ms. Letty Flores was telling me, to invite us to everything. It's, if we want to go, we go, we don't, we don't. But I think, like, on this project, we should have had a ribbon cutting with Commissioner Torres, Cecine, and ourselves. We should have had ribbon cutting on all the roofs that we're doing.
We'll
projects
do
that
a
we're
ribbon
doing.
cutting when it's complete. Yeah, with the
Okay.
team, with everybody.
Okay. Just to
Yeah.
keep going forward. Thank you, sir.
All right, and on slide number 15, you can see the aerial pictures showing the detention pond. And then also the courtyard areas on figure 24 and 25. You can see where some of the trees were removed and/or trimmed. And on figure 26, you can see a new sidewalk that was built because of a drain line that was installed in that area.
If we can save trees, let's save trees. Trees are important to our environment, so I know sometimes we can't,
They're all gone.
but when we can, let's try to save a tree here and there if we can.
And then the last project that I have on the presentation is the CTE Barrientos building improvements. The architect is PBK Architects, the contractor is NM Contracting, and the construction cost for this project is $8,559,965. The notice to proceed was issued on June 24th, 2025. This project consists of renovating an existing building and converting it into a new CTE center. The facility will include new culinary kitchens, instructional classrooms, computer labs, barbering classroom, offices for staff, and restrooms. On the exterior, the contractor is currently working on site work, fire lines, and domestic water lines. On the interior, the contractor is working on the AC duct, the rooftop unit installation, electrical rough-in, metal stud framing, drywall installation, and plumbing rough-in. This project is approximately 40% complete, and the contractor is on schedule to reach substantial completion by July of 2026. And you can see some of the pictures there as well, showing some of the work that they're doing inside. Any questions?
Well, first of all, I just want to, I like all this report. I like the progress the district is making. I like the fact that we're putting on some good roofs to our schools for the kiddos, fixing the Edinburgh North problem. I would like better communication with the city while we're out there, letting them see what we're doing. That irrigation district, is it number one?
Irrigation, yeah, precinct 4.
Okay.
Drainage.
Well, my dad worked there 52 years. I was just making sure it's number one and not another one around there. Get in contact with irrigation number 1, too, because you know how they're real picky and hard to work with, but making sure that everything's good to go, and hopefully this will take care of all that problem.
Will do.
But thank you for the report, Mr. Vargas, good job.
Yes, sir.
It's a great report. If we can continue to get these kind of reports for every project that the district has, and as they said, to also promote it.
Trustee
You know,
Garcia,
of
you
all the
just
good-
asked me, and I will put it on the agenda for you, every report
Yeah,
you
from
want.
here on out, we've never had such detailed information on our projects.
Yeah, thank you, Ms.
Never.
Carmen, for
So
putting it on
thank
the
you.
agenda. Thank you, Ms. Carmen and Ms. Letty Flores over here for me to go with this agenda. Next, we're going to talk about the Community Advisory Committee, that's letter D. I put this, I know I talked to Dr. Salinas and talked to Ben. We want to do that alliance, the board alliance training. And one of the components has to do with Community Advisory Committee. I think it's important to hear from our community the things that they're looking for in us as a board, as a school district. So, Melissa, you have a little task over there. The executive committee will get 2 names to be turned to you. My 2 names will be co-chairs of this committee, and the rest of the board members have a name to turn into Ms. Melissa. And this committee will meet and report to the board probably on a quarterly basis to see what they would like to see. If they would want to meet on a monthly basis, it's up to them. But this is just part of the component for that training that we want to move on, the governance training. And I think it's important to hear what our committee says. Hopefully more good than bad, but if it's some bad stuff, we'll try to fix it and address it. So that's the Committee Advisory Committee. Please turn in your name to Ms. Melissa by Friday at noon. If no name is turned in by noon, then you won't have a member for your namesake on that committee.
And just for clarification, Mr. President, this is gonna be to advise us in everything from A to Z in the district?
Well, I know they might talk about curriculum,
Anything?
mental health,
Wow.
they might talk about construction, they might talk about insurance, athletics, fine arts.
Good.
It's just what they want us to improve on as a district. Of course, some of their requests might not be doable because they're just not doable because they're out there, but we just want to hear some of the things that we can improve on as a district.
Mr. President, is there a way tomorrow afternoon, each board member can receive via email or text the exact description of what an advisory committee member entails,
Sure.
please?
Yes, sir.
And how many do each of us get to appoint?
The executive committee is going to get 2 members each, and the rest of the board members 1 member each.
How come we're not given two?
Well, that's the
We're
decision.
7 board members,
I know, but that's just the executive team.
but it would
Was-
override if there's any
Well, they're not going to
decision.
vote. They're just going to advise us on things we want to approve on. So they're not going to be voting, we want this, we want this. They're just, it's an advisory group. Now, we will vote if they bring it to our attention. Okay?
Overall, a good idea. Good
Yeah.
job.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Mr. President, since there's no doubt that if you look at the updates of 160 policies, there's a lot of focus on better community coordination with the school district. Also, a lot of parental rights that the new policies are going to get us on. So with that in mind, since we are contemplating working with the committee, could we go back to policy BED that addresses the time that community members that want to come and address the board have not only 3 minutes, but going back to 5 minutes? And that's policy BED. Could we give them 2 more minutes so they can come and express what they want to express to the board, which is the same philosophy of the committee? So these are just individuals in the community that had the opportunity to come during school board meetings to address the board on their issues. So could we consider going back to 5 minutes instead of 3?
Yes, ma'am. Put it on the agenda for next meeting, we can look at that. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. President, and those of us that are on this board and in the community, we know, those of us that are talkers, 3 minutes is very little time. So we'll try and get it in 5 minutes, but even then, that's kind of short, but hey, something is something. So I like that idea.
Well, since it's the policy BEDC is on the agenda, it's one of the 160.
It is.
And it's a local policy. We can make that decision tonight. We don't have to wait until the second reading. Do we need to take a vote?
Is it part of the agenda, Ms. Gonzalez, or
Well,
right now?
the update is on the,
In the
it's one
update,
of
when
your
we get to the
160
update,
policies.
add it to
Yes.
your
Legal,
motion.
Yeah,
and Ms.
when we
Andrew,
get
can
to
you
the-
verify if it is part?
Is
that
it
we
on
can
there?
vote on?
It's on there.
Have you looked at your agenda, policy?
The specific change that's being discussed, I don't believe is part of those updates, so that specific change would have to be added onto a subsequent meeting.
Thank you.
So there are changes to BED local, you are correct that those are in there, but I do not believe that the specific change that you are referencing is part of that update.
Okay, please verify,
Okay.
if you don't mind. Coming back to facilities update, to Mr. Varela, I have 2 questions. Where are you? Did he leave? Mr. Varela, is he back there? I can't see. Can you go to the podium? I have 2 more questions, real quick. I know, Dr. Alemia, we talked in the past about turf,
Yes, sir.
and it says it's a facilities update, and I don't know you know anything about this, but is there any future turf plans, Dr. Salinas? Because I know Dr. Alemia and I talked about this a year ago to you, that we wanted to turf our baseball fields. We wanted to turf our band marching pads and girls softball fields. So can you all come up with a plan just to give us a timeline of when you guys want to, when we can look at that as a board? Because
You want like a cost estimate?
I'll probably even put it out there in the next meeting just to go out for bid, just to see what it's going to cost us, just to have a cost estimate.
We can do that.
A lot of the school districts that are real super small in us have them, and we don't have them. I think our kids deserve it.
Everybody has some.
Yeah, it's one thing, I think we brought it up, like even longer than that. You know, a lot of those local districts around the valley have already turfed their baseball and softball fields. And, you know, we're still a little lacking behind on those. I know athletics is one of the big components in our district. We have great, tremendous student athletes, and it's time we give them and show them a little bit more love and providing some of these necessities that they deserve, because it's something that will help them and will also help us with cost efficiency in the future.
Yeah. we
No
can do
more
that.
rainouts. I know there's a hybrid, I'd like for you to look at it, a hybrid pitching mound. There's only one in Texas. And I'll let Dr. Salinas know where to find it. And the hybrid pitching mound is half turf in the front, clay in the front. So the kids that are pitching on clay. And you can ask Mr. Requena where it's at, because he knows, he did that project for me. And I think, Dr. Lemia, you being a baseball star, that having that pitching mound in the front being clay is super important, because when the kids go play college ball and majors, they pitch on clay, they don't pitch on carpet. So it's a hybrid model. It doesn't cost more, but it just gives a real good experience to the kiddos.
Of course, discuss it with our finance team and of course our superintendent. That way we, as a board, we can piece together what it is that the community needs from us in order for us to make this dream a reality finally. So
Okay.
that's something that, you know, I think a lot of our coaches and student athletes would be, and the community would be very, very excited to see.
We can just take out a Coach Salinas budget back there. Just keep
And if
taking
I
it
may-
around.
I was gonna say.
And I think,
He has
Mr.
his head down.
Salinas,
Yes,
If I
ma'am.
may ask,
Yes.
I know back in the facilities committee, it was brought up back in, what, August, Louis?
we could think,
They had proposed $1 million for 8 turf fields. That's a lot of money. They don't cost $1 million. So please look as what the cost is out there, because then that would be $8 million out of the budget.
They're not $1 million each.
Well, it was
Yeah.
proposed, remember?
Yeah.
It
Well,
was
I
brought up
wasn't there.
for it to be brought to, into the facilities, and then to be brought to the board, and that's when I brought up the fact that $1 million for times 8 fields, that's $8 million. That's a lot of money.
And you
But
forgot-
is it needed, and is it good for our students? Yes, it is. And if we can make it a reality for our students and our coaches, great. But not at $1 million.
We also need a band marching pads for the 4 high
Well-
schools.
We'll look at different
And-
options.
and of equal importance is we need to work with finance to see where are we financially?
Right.
'Cause
And
our fund
unfortunately-
balance is a big problem.
Unfortunately, we did a
already.
facilities walkthrough, and we need so much help in the weight rooms, especially at
Yes.
Economy High School.
Yes.
So it's gonna be a good
There's a lot of
discussion, but
needs.
there's a lot of
Yeah,
needs.
there is a lot of
There's a lot of needs.
Yeah.
I think the board, along with our superintendent and our executive team, we all need to come together to see what is it that we're gonna need to probably start deciding in order for these dreams to become a reality, because we know that money doesn't grow on trees, but we definitely need these things to happen, so we're gonna have to find a way for this to for this to become a reality, so.
And lastly, before you sit down, I know that we already have approved an HVAC project. We had like 10 schools identified to do HVAC. And Anthony, when are we gonna start? I mean, I know that you were getting killed by all the principals when school started, that nothing was working, but yet we still haven't even started.
Right, and for that one, Mr. Salinas, we were waiting on funding. I know that we had identified 10 schools that needed HVAC systems. ESER paid for 14, so we identified 15 to 25 in order of need, and we were just waiting to see the funding, and I know that that's been the issue that's held us up.
I just
But
think
I
that
can't-
we need to look, sorry, Ms. Carmen, we need to look at maybe phase one, phase two, like, at least start some. I mean, I know that when school is starting, how many phone calls were you getting?
Every day, every time it rains.
And we still haven't done anything about it, so I think even starting with project one, phase them in until you get them all done.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Carmen.
No, well, just to say, there's a lot of needs, and like Mr. Alemia said, we need to have a meeting with all the needs and compare that with what we do have, what we must have, and then decide from that. But we need to start with something, because, and the restriction is gonna be the budget. I mean, if the money is not there, why are we even wasting our time talking about it? We keep saying we don't have enough for this, that we can't do this, you can't get another janitor, you can't get another teacher, you can't get some of the necessities of education. So at one point, soon, we need to look at all our needs and how much of those can we afford and set a priority on them.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Just to revisit the question that was posed earlier on your revisions to board policy, on your agenda, you do have under item 8E, that specific policy is referenced in that agenda item. So if you want to bring up that issue again at that point under that agenda item, discuss and decide on the specific revisions that are being requested, you can take a vote at that time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just know Ms. Carmen reads the packages from front to back.
Yes, I do.
Every day for 2 weeks. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
And when we're looking at facility needs, I agree with Dr. Alemia and the rest of the board of our athletics, but we also must look at our fine arts. Let's not forget when those students come here and play for us, when we have our luncheons, we've sat here, we just sat here, not even 3 weeks ago at the Thanksgiving one, and they were phenomenal. They really sounded like they were professional musicians and singers. Remember, we were here, we heard them. And every time we hear them, we say, okay, we have to help them. So I think that also this advisory committee, it will help us with looking even deeper at those needs for also our fine arts and our mariachi groups, our conjunto groups. You know, we don't even know, where are they practicing anyway? What corner, what closet? So we need to help them too.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of needs in our district, and we just got to start with a priority plan.
Correct.
And knock
Thank
them
you.
out one at a time.
Yeah.
Good information from all of us. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Mental health plans, I put that on there, Dr. Sines, because that's part of what I talked about when the board named me president is, I'd like for our social services department or our counseling department to come up with a plan to share with the board, probably at the next, I'll give them till after the new year to look at it. What do we do when when one of our students makes an outcry? What do we do when a staff member makes an outcry to them? What kind of help are we getting them? I know that mental health is huge, and, you know, Dr. Louis, what's the name of the doctor that came the other day?
Dr. Melendez.
Dr. Melendez said that this whole state of Texas is so far behind. And I see it more every single day that people are hurting. And it's sad, because sometimes they feel they have nowhere to go, and then they might do something silly to themselves. So it's important that, and talk to our teams, area directors, to your principals, that validate every kid that says, hey, miss, because sometimes, you know, you've had a long day, I've been a teacher, Marcia, you've been a teacher, wherever, I was there 36 years, they come to you, and sometimes you're like, no, we need to validate every student that wants to say something, because we don't know what's going to happen afterwards. So the word of the day is validate. Everyone.
Thank you.
Teachers, principals, staff, kids, bus driver, everybody needs to be validated when you don't feel good. So,
Mr. Salinas, I'd
Yes.
just like to say that I'm glad you put this on. It's, as being the president last year, I was not able to do that as we had a large list, as you just saw, of things to address. But Dr. Salinas, I think this is huge. Our counselors are overwhelmed. They're just working and doing administrative work, and they're not doing the work. I mean, I can speak personally for me and my grandchildren that they want to try to do, but they just don't have the time. Our social workers are overworked. There's too many of them spread out, and there's just a lot. I think this is a monster that we haven't even started to look at that we need to address. And because times are different, students are different, and these are things that this is a game changer. I didn't get to address it, but I sure am glad that the president did. But this is bigger than what we think. There's
It's
a lot
very
of money
big.
involved, so just FYI.
And furthermore, Mr. President, if I may?
Yes.
Just to reiterate what Mr. President, Mr. Salinas and David Torres were saying, mental health, in my field of healthcare, mental health is probably if it's not one of the biggest, it's the biggest subject in every public institution. We heard Dr. Melendez a few meetings ago discuss how imperative it is for us to really focus on the well-being of each and every one of our students here that attend ECISD. Dr. Salinas, I do, I've been harping on this since I got on the board 5 years ago, and I continue to harp on it that we do need to be improving in our mental health plan. I know we have some alumni that are successful professionals in the mental health field. Maybe we can coordinate with some of them that are working right now in this industry to see what it is that we can do to provide health fairs or mental health days for our students, just to kind of give them a break. Because let's face it, it's going to be nonstop, and it's going to continue to be a big issue as we continue to go down the road. So let's utilize the resource that we have, so that way we can really tackle this issue as best we can.
And we can start with working with the counselors and giving them time to do what they're supposed to do. The law is 80% of the time should be working with students, which we all know, and we sit here and recognize the fact that that's not happening because of all the other activities that they're given. And we can start, we really are serious about dealing with what they can do for the students, then we need to start and look at what we can presently do with the duties of the counselors. And the other group,
Social workers.
social workers can also bring home what they see at home, that is
And-
already very alarming, what they have, the
If I may
students
ask.
have to live in.
Yes.
So,
Ms. Salinas?
start with that, that's
Ms.
easy to
Garcia,
do.
and then Ms. Lopez. Ms. Lopez, sorry. Well,
Dr. Salinas, are we doing anything, and maybe I'm not aware of, in our school settings, to be able, the same way we do pep rallies, where we bring all the students into the gym, are we making them aware of situations that they're probably scared to come forward, but to let them know, hey, we're there for you. And they may not, they can tell a friend, and that friend could probably come forward if it's a serious, situation. But what are we doing to help our students, to help them, educate them in different scenarios, See something, say something,
Yes,
What are we doing?
And I talked about this with Ms. Sophie Hinojosa, who coordinates this for us. And we can give you a verbal summary in lieu of the formal report that we can present to this board at the next board meeting, as President Salinas is asking us to do. But Ms. Sophie can verbally describe the processes that we have in place for students and staff that are in need of social, emotional support.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can give
You
you
know-
a brief summary of what
Good.
you just asked.
And only because
Come on, she's dying to tell us.
we know mental health is a big issue. Right after
is.
COVID, a lot of like we've said, it's huge. It's a huge monster. But how are we relating this to our students to tell them, don't be scared to come forward if something's going on. Because they come to school to get away what they might be going through at home. And some are,
Yeah.
come forward and will say it, and some are scared of consequences.
So if before Sophie goes, I know that we used to have safe rooms, and I'm sure that we still have safe rooms in our schools. But as the board is addressing this and looking at roles and responsibilities, ever since we went to online testing for the STAR test, that also relieved the counselors, I would imagine, from a lot of that responsibility that we had given them for testing. Even though, I know you're looking at me, even though those probably still remain in probably 99% of our schools, and those roles and responsibilities have not changed. So we need to look at that, and there's many schools that have a curriculum assistant, testing facilitators. We have provided testing facilitators also. And and so looking at the responsibilities of these counselors, being that they shouldn't be doing the online testing or assisting as much as they should be doing their role as a counselor. But I also know that we have safe rooms in all our schools, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, good evening. We do have safe rooms. They're called safe havens, so every campus has a safe haven. It is labeled at the beginning of the year when the students are getting their introduction to the new school year, whether it's in the elementary or high school. That is introduced to them as an awareness and as a reminder, because you forget. If it's something that you are not reminded of every day, you forget. So they do frequent reminders to let the students know if there's anything that's going on with you, there is a room, a location at the campus that you can go to, and it's usually with the social worker or the counseling area. That's where it is. But as far as for the students, we do have our curriculums that we provide for the students. It's hard for them to do all the lessons because, like you mentioned, our counselors are spread very thinly, and so they are tasked with other responsibilities. But we do have those curriculum lessons that we provide for our students. We do have them in the elementary, middle, and high school levels. There's also awareness presentations specifically on threats, because I know that you mentioned the something, say something. So our police officers help us with the student presentations as well. They collaborate with our social workers and counselors to talk about specifically threats and threat assessments. That is something that is very trending. It's something that is very real. Students don't realize that if they say, I'm going to shoot up the school, that there is a consequence.
Yeah.
And that now we have to go through these procedures by law, which is a threat assessment. We have to screen them and then determine, do we have to do a full threat assessment? And if that's the case, and the student has to go through the full threat assessment, it stays on the record until they're 24 years of age. So they don't realize that. So that we do present on them. Maybe we need to increase the number of the awareness presentations.
That's what I was going to say to you.
It's important for them to be reminded, because once again, if you're not reminded, you forget.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it would be something that would be maybe even quarterly, because we get new students and they're not aware of it, but yet they may be seeing something or they may be going through something. So kind of decide on how often our schools from elementary, junior high, and high school should be having these sessions, to talk to the kids. Same way we do it for pep rallies, for games and everything. It's the same way we should be bringing our students in to make them aware, hey, you're not alone, we're here. Again, we don't know what's going on in their homes, and they come over here thinking, okay, I'm better off at school, I'm not getting abused or whatever may be happening to that student.
And the need is great. Let me tell you, every day we get phone calls from social workers and counselors, because they're dealing with students' emotional needs, not only mental health, but also abuse,
Yes.
like you mentioned. So we have to call CPS and address those needs, and then after that, create a plan for the student, because how are we going to support them once they come back to us?
Exactly.
And one of the things, Dr. Salinas, también, we need to train our principals and counselors that if they hear something they're not supposed to hear, CPS is the first call. immediately, because if not, they're gonna lose their certifications. Well, I just wanted to say, also, we need to tap into UTRGV. I know as a former superintendent, I had 10 interns every semester, and while you're smickering me, I probably
We
took them
have
all.
some.
But
do.
they get they have to do 600 hours of counseling each. So that's 6,000 free counseling hours.
That's great.
And I would get mostly all of them because I had the best LSP. I can say that, and I can challenge that one to anybody. And he was a professor there, so that was an extra bonus that I got all the interns to come to my school district. There's a lot of agencies that do a lot of work. As long as they have Medicare, Medicaid, they can do that as part of their service. And then I was thinking about pro bono too. We have some, I know the psychiatrists are super limited in the Edinburgh area, but we can ask for pro bono. Because I know my daughter does 30 patients a day. And, you know, I was thinking I'm gonna see if she'll do some pro bonos for the district when she's in the Edinburgh clinic. So,
Mr.
but-
President and Dr.
Yes, sir.
Salinas, just on sheer volume, just since we're on this subject, and I'm so glad, Mr. President, you put this on, because I've been biting my lip to do this all year long. So, just elementaries, there's only one counselor, right?
Yes, sir.
How many do we have in middle schools?
At middle school, we have 3,
And how many do we have in high schools?
7 to 8.
Okay, we have elementaries that are 500, 600,
700,
700.
close to
That's where
800.
we have.
So just your numbers, just basic numbers is something that you just have to look at, or it's gonna blow up on our face.
Sir, one of the things that we recognize that, one of the things that we decided to do as a team is, due to the new state comp ed rules, where they loosen up the guardrails of how we can use our staff that get federally funded, we, as a team, agreed that the CAs can take curriculum assistants at the elementary level, can take some of the responsibilities of the counselors so that they can get back to 80-20, 80% counseling, 20% other tasks. One of the strategies is get the CA to take some of the tasks that the counselors are now asked to do, like testing, so that they can get back to counseling. So that's, in fact, we talked to the principals about that a couple of days back, that we met with them. Now we can use the CAs, we're more flexible, as the feds are more flexible with us, and the CAs can actually do some of the things that the counselors were doing, so that they can get back to 80% counseling, 20% other tasks. So that's one area, that's one way where we're trying to alleviate some of the non-counseling duties that the counselors do at the elementary.
Can we make sure that that happens?
Yes, and implement it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
actually,
I-
follow through.
Definitely.
We just started that initiative. We just got going with that.
Okay, good.
Remind
And I
them,
think,
remind them over and over.
yeah,
Put it in, we'll put it in our meeting.
and I think that the message tonight is
So Sophie can be
we're
there
all
with me.
totally committed to doing things different so that we address the needs of the students.
Yeah.
So you heard all of us express a concern for what is not happening, and we understand why not. Let's see how much of the why not we can take care of. But it's called additional staff, no matter which way you go. You don't want to overload what is there. And once again, back to the budget,
Yeah.
all right?
And if we can get something for the next board meeting as to where you're at this point, what do you plan to change, implement? Of course, working with Dr. Salinas and the area directors and everyone in the team, assistant superintendents. It takes a team to be able to come up with
Everybody's problem.
something, but we definitely need to start. And I know you said we already started, Dr. Salinas, but bring something to the next board meeting, give us an update, and, you know, it's all about our students, the boys
Melissa,
and
put that
girls.
on the agenda for next board meeting already? You know this?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have procedures for hiring and salary decisions. I put that on there because some of the board members were asking me, how is the hiring process, Dr. Salinas? Are we using committees? Are we using the same committees? Are we including different committees? And then, you know, we wanted to know, like, how is that salary decision made? Are we using the compensation plan, the book? Or are we just coming up with a salary based on experience? Is there a limit to the salary? Is there, you know, so if you could tell us a little about the hiring procedures we're currently using, and then your salary decisions. I know from now on, when you recommend people in the back, we also want you to come with their salary. What are they gonna make? So we can know.
We can do that.
Because, you know, we're lost, we're in the dark, we don't even know. You know, we hire David Torres, and he's Chief Academic Officer for ABC Elementary, and we're paying $300,000, and we didn't even know that. So it's important, we just want to know salaries and.
But we also
decisions.
use TASB, right? To find out as to what the salary is based on years and so forth, that they help out with salaries,
Well, they're gonna
to know where they're
Our
at.
salary schedule
Yeah.
is
A TASB
a
approved.
TASB product.
We ha-
Right.
We have TASB on payroll, and they help us
Yes.
with our payroll formulas, I mean, throughout the year.
Right,
The salary decisions, there's no decision to be made, there's a formula, there's
Correct.
tables.
and that's why I brought
And
it
in
up.
Edinburgh CISD, their formula depends on the years of experience. That's
Mm-hmm.
the way it works. There's no wiggle room. Depends on the job that you're applying for. If it's a custodian, if it's a principal, if it's an assistant superintendent, there are formulas
Correct.
that are developed by TASB, and the board approves them. Every year when we do the budgeting. So there's no wiggle room.
Right.
The formula is clear. No.
But the reality of what we deal with almost on a daily basis, we get calls that, yes, we know we have a salary schedule that we should be following, and it's based strictly on experience. And then the question of experience, okay, you've been a teacher for 10 years, and then you get to be a principal. Okay, is your experience based on 10 years of being a teacher, or is it experience on the job that you're getting? Those kinds of questions are being asked, and people are concerned about some situations in which, okay, I've been here 10 years in this position, and new one comes in and is making the same or more than me. So I think we understand that the TASB salary schedule is very good, but I'll be honest, we really don't know how it works.
Yeah.
And then you hear people saying, yeah, but their job was negotiated. Well, there's no such thing as negotiation in this school district.
There's only one
You don't
negotiated salary.
negotiate
Yeah.
a salary. And we hear that some of that is going on. We don't like it. We have a salary schedule that most of us don't understand. And maybe we, as a board, I know I would appreciate understanding the salary schedule. Because this thing about is based on years of experience, yeah, but what experience? In the job you're getting or where you came from? Those kinds of things, I think this board is very interested in trying to improve it so that everybody understands. It should be very clear how you can get a job in Edinburgh. And most of us can't even explain how. And that, I'm not proud of that. But I think we need to spend time understanding the process.
And one thing that everyone needs to know, there's only one negotiated salary in this whole district, and that's the superintendent of schools only. So let's say, I'll use David Torres because he's here to my right. He comes in making $100,000 at another school. Hey, can you match my salary, pay me more?
No.
Be lucky, you're supposed to be at 85. So if you want the job, it's at 85. Like Ms. Carmen says, there's only one negotiated salary, which is the superintendent of schools. And like Carmen says, we're lost sometimes not with those calls that we get as far, so just study that for next time,
Yes, sir.
and then we can give us an update.
And moving forward, every time we recommend an employee, it'll come with the how much we're gonna pay.
Just so
Right,
we
yes.
can,
From now on, all positions coming to the board will have the salary attached to it,
Yeah,
or they will not get approved.
correct.
okay, letter G, organizational chart. We'll take that to executive when we get to the back and talk about that.
I wanted to make a comment on that, Board President.
Yes, ma'am.
On this organizational chart, isn't that the superintendent's job?
Yes, and
To
that's
do
why
it?
we're gonna take it to the back, because
Okay.
the other discussion item was not supposed to be like that.
Okay,
Because
and the only reason I'm bringing it up, because it's on here, and I know it's also 8B that we're going to be voting on it?
We're not going to vote on it.
We're not, okay. Because we can't vote on it because it's not a board item to vote on, because it's a superintendent's position
Correct.
to do the organizational chart. Now, on this organizational chart, us as board members shouldn't be dictating or micromanaging of how the superintendent is doing his job. I made a call to TEA, spoke to the governance department, spoke to a couple of attorneys, and, you know, they explained a lot to me and so forth. So they asked, who's your superintendent? What's your student population? They asked me a lot of questions, what our budget was. I said like $500 million, that, you know, we have a large budget in this district and so forth. So he did ask me, do you all do trainings, board trainings? I said, yes, sir, we do, once a year. As a matter of fact, we just went through one, I think, in August with Moet Casey. And I told him, and he says, yes, I know who they are. I said, okay, they did the board training. And he says, you are aware of what board, each of you as board members are responsible for is making sure the superintendent is doing his job, overseeing policy and procedure, and overseeing budget to make sure there's no abuse of our taxpayer dollars. And he says, you're correct. And he just said, there shouldn't be any type of board members telling the superintendent how to do his job. And I'm sure you went through that. You ran a tight shift in Hidalgo. And I know that you ran it the way you wanted it, and regardless what the board members thought, correct?
Well,
Well-
board members interfere a lot,
Yeah, they do.
but I ran my ship tight.
Oh, I know you did. I know, because they told me you were tight out there. You know, you were tough, and you had a good district. But again, if the superintendent's making a move to demote, reposition, and so forth, well, it's coming from board members, unless he's doing it, but a lot of it has come from board members, and that's why I said, well, I'm going to bring it up, and I did make the call to TEA. They asked me I told them it was you, Dr. Mario Salinas, and I gave them the number, and so I don't know if you're going to get a call or not, but just so you know.
I'd like to put some information here. I know as a former board member, and I was previously on the board, it is your role to set the organizational chart. But as board members, we were very involved in discussion as a team of 8. So I think it's a combination. I mean, yes, you have the final say, and then we dictate, we evaluate you on that. But board members had a say also, because we're voices of the community, so it's a team of 8. So it's a combination. So I can see what you're saying. We have to watch the boundaries, but we also are elected to make sure that the organizational chart is set right. So it's a combination, in my opinion.
It
So I'd
is.
just like to say
I
that.
agree.
Anything else, Ms. Garcia?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Enrollment report, Dr. Salinas?
Yes, we have Freddie Martinez.
Go ahead, Freddie, thank you.
Good evening, Board President, Mr. Salinas, Dr. Salinas, board members, and legal counsel. Please join me as I review the enrollment report dated Friday, December the 5th, 2025, which marks day 73 of the school year. I will be comparing our counts from last Friday with last year's 73rd instructional day, which was December the 6th of 2024. I'll begin with the elementary counts. So starting with the elementary, as of last Friday, we closed out at 16,202 students, for a net difference of minus 488 students. Middle schools, we closed out at 6,497 students, for a net difference of minus 141 students. High schools, we closed out at 9,784 students, for a net difference of minus 266 students. Overall, as of last Friday, our district enrollment was 32,483 students for a net difference of minus 895 students. Year to date, we've already graduated 41 students since we started the school year. So that is a small factor in that enrollment difference. We are still pending 108 migrant students that left last year, at the end of last year, that have not yet returned, and we're hoping that those students enroll with Edinburgh before our resubmission, fall resubmission window, deadline. And that's it. That concludes the report. If you have any questions regarding the data, I'd be more than happy to answer those at this time.
I have a question. On those 895, do we have T-Rexes on them where they went?
So, yes, so we should have T-Rexes on the ones that actually enrolled in a Texas public school. Students that enroll out of state, which we do have a few. We'll probably get like an email request, and we have a process for that. Students that that immigrate to another country, we do get some requests, not through T-Rex, because T-Rex is mainly in the state of Texas, and we do have some students that actually went into homeschooling. So since the pandemic, every year we do lose a couple of students to homeschooling. So as far as the ones that enroll in other Texas public schools, yes, if they request records, we do. Every day, our staff is tasked on looking at TSCS, which is a Texas database. Every school district is supposed to upload all the district enrollments at least once a week. So we're looking to see if students are actually enrolling, in other Texas public schools. And so if we do get a request, we do fulfill it. So we do have for the ones that are requested.
But with that, do you know how many students from Edinburgh are in the surrounding school districts?
Yes, we can get that number. I don't have it readily available here, but we do have students that actually enroll like in charter schools around us.
Well, maybe next time you can
but I
give
can
us
tell
that
you that
information.
as far as like charter schools, it's not our highest reason for withdrawals. I think homeschooling is one of the top ones. Immigrating to another country in these past few years has increased. Very few enroll out of state. But if you'd like, I can work with Dr. Salinas on a report for you all.
Yeah.
Based on your requests.
I'm looking at the homeschool. I know that since those parents are required to have a letter signed by you that they're gonna be homeschooling. Are we following up to make sure those letters are in place?
Yes, actually, we actually audit those records. So we do have about 100 students that have gone into homeschooling just this year alone. And we do have procedures that are placed by TA that we have to make sure we have our documentation. If we ever get audited, we have to have all that documentation so that we don't get flagged with a data validation monitoring. What is it? It's a report where if you get flagged, you have to provide documentation, and the outcome of that could mean the difference between no further action or an action plan, where we have to come up with a plan on making sure that as a district we are following TA procedures. So, but we do have that in place, and we do have Project Gateway, like we had covered earlier this year. We also have a new project called Project Check, where we're checking now every single record through our office here at Central Office. I believe it's twice a month, and we're looking and helping out the campuses because it's a lot of work. Having to check every single day is a lot of work, and so we're trying to do our best to help the campuses out. Okay. But we do check.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martinez, going back to the attendance, I mean, I'm understanding that maybe you probably have done in the past some research on the surrounding school districts, and it's not just our school district that's lower in enrollment compared to the previous years. I know this is I don't want to say pandemic, but this is something that's been going on with our surrounding public school system, not only in the Rio Grande Valley, but nationwide. I do feel that there's going to be a lot of changes, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, where these parents feel safer to have their kids homeschooled than being out in the public school system. This goes back to superintendent report, item E, mental health, where, you know, we lack, I don't want to say we're lacking, but we can always improve in that area so that way our students can feel safer when they come to school. I know Ms. Garcia mentioned that some students do feel safe coming to school, and it's something that they've always looked forward to, coming to school to get away from what was going on in their personal life. Where that fell off, I think the pandemic had something to do with it. Our federal government and our state government also has some indication of where we're leading. I don't want to go into that. That'll create another, you know, back and forth with it. But, you know, the funding or the lack thereof from the state and the federation is kind of tying our hands in what we can do. But this is a great opportunity for us, Dr. Salinas, yourself, Ms. Lisa Ayala and her team, to try to implement ways to open up ECISD's doors for those students that we've lost, to let them know that it is safe to come back, regardless of the reason why they left. But we have to get back to a normalcy. I know it's not ECISD's fault because we're just one of several school districts around the nation, not just the state, but around the nation, that have lost enrollment because these students are deciding to go elsewhere. And we just have to work together to bring them back.
And I know, Dr. Lima, that number of 488 in elementary, it's misleading, because back then we're allowing every pre-K that qualified to come, and we changed policy, so I know that's off a little bit. And so, but none of the fact that we're negative 895, we need to
Find a way
market
to
our
bring 'em
district
back.
better and bring kids into this district. That's a lot of money lost right there. Those are some of your turfs, some
Yeah.
of your,
And I like to share the same sentiment that Dr. Alamia mentioned. A quick Google search, you'll find that in the state of Texas, this is a growing, it's a trending topic.
yes.
That, you know, in Edinburgh CISD, we're talking about numbers almost every board meeting, right? You look around at other districts, they don't really talk about their enrollment numbers, but now as they're getting closer to the fall submission and they're finalizing their fall enrollment counts, you're starting to see other local districts, and you start seeing out there, you know, in the news how they've been dropping enrollment. So last time I ran,
Closing schools and
Yes.
Yeah.
dismissing people. and
yeah. So,
we
but
don't
we're
wanna
doing
go
everything we can to, you know, promote. You know, I know through homeschooling, we have some students that are homeschooled that have taken advantage of one of the homeschooling options and participating with UIL. And so that's an invitation to these students where they get to still experience some of these UIL activities, and through it, the district is able to generate some funds as well. So we are in contact with those families and offering those services so they can take advantage. So, but you know, we're an open enrollment district, so we welcome every single child, every single family, and we'll continue to work on that as we move forward.
And at the next board meeting, we want to hear how many you have brought back.
Okay.
Not how many have left, but how many have you brought back?
Okay. Okay. Well, thanks so much. If there's any other questions?
Thank
If
you.
not,
Thank you.
Happy holidays to all of you.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Next consent agenda, I need a motion, consent A to I.
So we got public comments?
Monday? Oh,
Public
sorry,
comments.
public comments. Sorry. Mr. President, public comments? I mean,
Yes, sir.
Mr.
We have
Superintendent?
two. First one, we have Marcia Gonzalez.
I'm sorry, ladies.
I know you didn't want to hear what I had to say.
Forgot.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Superintendent Dr. Mario Salinas. I'm going to speak on action agenda item 8B, the organizational chart. This chart has not been revised since the 2022-2023 school year. On the chart, you have administrators in charge of directors, who are in charge of directors, who are in charge of administrators. The positions are all over the place, along with the pay for these individuals. We are hoping that the ECISD School Board can correct this situation and streamline efficiency and productivity. Just out of curiosity, how can someone become a department director if they only have one employee in their department? The next agenda item I'm going to speak to is 8C, hiring decisions and salary compensation. The board should be aware that there is an ECISD procedures handbook that exists in this district that dictates formulas for salary placements for employees, especially new hires and promotions. It outlines procedures and timelines for posting vacancies, hiring new employees, changes in employees that change jobs, and promotions. The personnel, payroll, and superintendent's departments have copies of this handbook, so the question becomes, why is it not being followed? Agenda item 8E, compensation and benefits. The DEC local policy is not being followed when you have employees not reporting their days absent, employees receiving additional leave after they have exhausted all their leave, or in one particular case, an employee being paid 100% of their leave balance upon retirement that resulted in an overpayment of, or rather gifting, of over $33,000 of public funding. I brought a copy of my public information request as proof, so the ECISD school board can address this violation of this board policy. The board needs to do better by its employees, students, and constituents. A good starting place would be to put the superintendent on the agenda. Thank you.
Next, we have Fern McClellery.
Yes, I have three that I'm going to question, and hopefully you will answer. The agenda item, the first one is 8C, the hiring. I am glad that the ECISD is taking a look at this practice. I'm hearing too many complaints that employees are being promoted without interviews and that positions are not being posted for the 10 days until after someone has already got the position. Is this true? Have y'all checked into that? I hope any employee that are being considered or already hired are not family members. You know, family, friends, and loved ones that I speak about are having a history of working at one of the high schools or knows the personnel director. We just want fair for the public that are coming. Agenda item 8E, the DEC local policy. Exactly what updates are being made to the DEC local policy? Can you explain that? Who is going to enforce this policies? Did any employees get overpaid? I have heard, not through Marcia, but other people. If yes, then make this individual, how about paying back the overpayment of unused leaves that he or she received? And the last one is 8E, BED local policy. I see that the policy regulating public comments is on the agenda again. We are hoping that the time increases back to 5 minutes, and there are usually one or two of us that speak on public comments occasionally. If the board wants to be transparent, then public comments should not be limited to agenda items, but rather to the concerns of the ECISD voters who voted you all in. So many times our question comes from an employee of the district, and they are afraid to ask the question because if they do, they can be fired. And you can't fire us, but you can try to silence us. And I'm hoping that you will have the heart to give us back our open forum and that you will answer the questions tonight. Thank you.
That is it for public comments.
Okay, consent, A through I.
Second.
Minga Leti Flores, second. Any questions on consent, A through I? All those in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Action agenda, letter A, discussion action to assign committee member, Committee Advisory Committee. Got a motion by Ms. Minga, second by Mr. Torres. Any questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Letter B, no action taken. That's the superintendent's decision. Letters 8C, discussion and action to approve hiring decisions and salary compensation. Got a motion? And Ms. Minga, can you take back your motion? I'd like to table this so the super can make a presentation for the next time.
All my motion.
Thank you, Ms. Vela, appreciate
Thank you.
that.
On item 8C, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Melissa, we'll put it under superintendent's report for the next meeting. Approval resolution number 2026-8, setting the
So
tax
moved.
levy.
Second.
Motion from Ms. Minga, second from Ms. Carmen. Any questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, motion carries. Letter E, approval to first reading of TASB localized policy update 126, revisions to DEC local compensation of benefits, leaves, absence of BED local board, meeting public
So move
participation.
with a discussion
Second.
that
Motion
we
and-
ask in
Discussion.
5 minutes, please.
You could have done that in your motion.
Can, I motion to add the
Yes.
5 minutes to
Okay.
agenda item 8E at this
Okay.
time.
We have a motion, a second from Mr. Torres. Any questions?
And I just wanted to ask, Board President, Legal, you reviewed each and every item on here, right?
I reviewed, this update is from TASB. I reviewed the summary
Uh-huh.
of the updates, but it's getting us in line with all the new statutory requirements. That's basically what this update is. Now, with respect to that request on BED local, we'll go ahead and bring the final version for y'all's approval at the next meeting.
For the 5-minute
Yes.
increase.
So
Also,
we're not voting on the 5 minutes right now?
No, because at this point, I'm reading the agenda language, it says first reading, so because
Oh,
it says first
okay.
reading, what it'll
So
do
we'll
is.
bring it on
You
the
need to bring
second
it.
one. Thank you.
now, also, there's 160 policies, updates, and would it be appropriate to ask the legal counsel to some way, somehow, have a little step development for us to understand the policies that we're approving?
Ms. Carmen, what I used to do as a superintendent, any policy that dealt with one of my directors, they would talk about it to the board.
Okay,
But these
yeah,
policies are for them
Yeah.
to follow,
right. But,
so.
but I think that they're serious enough and important enough that, I mean, we can't
We
be
need an
expected-
overview.
Yeah, we can't expect to read 160 and see how
I
it
tried.
applies to us. I've read a lot of them, but I think it would be appropriate to have legal counsel and the departments that are responsible for the policy changes or the
Like PD.
updates, to see how does that affect Edinburgh? Because this is generically for the state of Texas, but how does some of them affect us and some don't.
Like
So
a little
I-
professional development.
So-
Definitely, we can work with you guys on your schedule and then,
Okay,
and get that
let's do
scheduled.
that, because we need to get a little educated so we can,
Maybe in the one of the January
To
meetings, we'll,
understand it.
we'll start at 5, from
Yes.
5 to 6, and then we can start a regular meeting.
so
That's
we
okay.
table for tonight, but we need to.
We need to get some more
It's a lot.
clarification.
Mhm.
That's the only reason I asked. We had-
So we're gonna table, my motion is to table item 8E at this time.
Check.
No?
We can take action.
With that caveat, we'll bring
The first
the
one.
second reading of BED local at the next meeting for final
All right,
approval.
thank you.
Okay, you want a motion, Ms. Vela?
Yes, I motion that.
Second, Mr. Torres?
Second.
Okay. We got a motion second. Any other questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes. Letter F, approval to renew
So
Raptor
moved.
emergency notification.
Second?
Motion from Ms. Vela, second from Ms. Garcia. Any questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Letter G, approval to renew district-wide content keeper internet
So
content
moved.
filtering services.
Second,
Motion from Ms. Vela, second from Ms. Carmen. Any questions on G? All those-
just only to say what I said last time, we need a little environment from Dale Ramos that will take over when Eddie leaves. I like to see some of the items being, yeah, I see you there. But he needs to take over some of these items that he's gonna be responsible for.
And explain.
And explain to us. You did a good job, but you're not going to be here very soon, okay? So Dale, get involved, okay? Thank you.
Let him do all the agenda items, Eddie, so we can get mad at him. Yeah. Okay. Starting next
I
meeting.
know.
I'll add a lot of stuff for technology. See what he does.
Okay. That's a big
Okay.
cost.
We already made a motion in a second, right?
Yes.
We voted on it?
No.
No.
Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign, motion carries. Letter H, approval to declare
So
inventory
moved.
item surplus.
Second.
Motion from Ms. Vela, second from Ms. Flores. Any questions?
Yes, I believe at the last time that we approved this subject, we said we needed to also, if you were going to come back with the same subject, we needed to know how much did you collect? how much did you sell? And it's not part of the agenda.
Do we have a number,
Yes.
Ms. Del?
And the other question is, some of these items were federally funded. Did the money go back to the federal fund that,
Yes, we have to get special permission if it's federally funded to dispose of it, and then they kind of dictate if we want to put it back into our federal account and/or it's, because depending on the age and so forth, but it is requested as part of that.
so what did you do?
Depends on the item specifically. If it's usually if there are small amounts, they'll kind of ignore it, not ignore it, but they'll allow us, so they get special permission, and it's held by the federal department. But most of these are local monies that are being disposed of right now. Now, Ralph Gonzalez, he keeps track of all our auctions and what we collect, and he provided me a summary. And the fiscal year 24-25, we've collected $87,995. Now, all of these, and per auction, per auction line item. The year before, 23-24, when we were starting to clean up and everything, we collected $170,000. And right now, so far, for fiscal year 25-26, we collected $16,000, not counting what this auction goes out for sale.
And they went into the fund balance? Or where?
It goes into our other income so that we don't put it into other expenditures. We don't try to do any of that. It's just, well, we report it as other income, but we don't put an expenditure to it. So yes, it goes into our fund balance.
As a board member, I sure would like to know what all those balances are so that we can talk to the superintendent and request to use them in some of the things that we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it goes into a
HVACs.
whole, because we're seeing losses in our ADA. We're seeing losses, like, it kind of helps fill that loss in revenues that we're not collecting, because we're seeing losses in our tax values, not that homestead exemptions are going up, right? So we're gonna see those things kind of come in. It helps us with our revenue component.
Well, that's part of the
So I'm not
report.
gonna say that it's additional monies, it's kind of trying to keep, it gives us that extra, of the losses that we are carrying.
Right.
We've never
But it
seen
would be
those
good for
reports.
for the board to know what that,
Yes.
what
Yes.
that money is
Where you-
and where did it go
Where
to.
did it go?
Yeah. If I may, Board President,
Yes, ma'am.
on these items here, computers and laptops, I know I always ask this question. Was everything erased in the hard drive completely?
Dale, you have an answer for that?
Come on,
Like,
Dale.
you're giving us your word that everything was erased on all these. I would hate to be like the neighboring district, that computers were sold at the flea market and they had a lot of sensitive information. So I'm wanting to make sure that our district didn't drop the ball.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Mr. President, Dr. Salinas, members of the board. We do have a lot of, we've had extensive discussions on this, and I've learned from Dr. Moreno that that's our policy. We make sure that every hard drive is erased, destroyed. They don't leave our premises until they are destroyed. And we've had recent discussions about that. Not only do we want to save money while we do it, but we want to make sure that our data cannot leave our premises and someone purchase a laptop device somewhere and find data. Yeah, so
Exactly.
we're very strict on following that rule of thumb, and very careful to make sure that all of our employees are following those procedures.
Good.
Thank
I'm
you.
just making sure.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd hate to make the news.
Exactly.
You won't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You won't. Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Dale. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Letter I, approval of
So
RFP
moved.
2026, District Finance Management, $1.6 million.
Second.
Motion from Ms. Bella, second from Dr. Lamia. Any questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Letter
I'm
J,
for it.
approval of request proposal 2503, document management system,
So moved.
first year for 130.
Second.
Then I have a question.
Hold on, Minga, you made a motion. Dr. Lamia, did you second it? Dr. Lamia seconded? Question, Ms. Garcia.
What exactly is this CSP that we're voting on? If they can at least explain to us, what exactly is this?
I can, yes, this is actually the company that we use for shredding all our documents, for scanning, and for storing our data, that,
Okay,
And it's a renewal.
it's a renewal.
okay, sounds good.
Because we have a lot of sensitive information
Yes.
that we cannot
Okay.
just throw in the trash can.
Just one thing, Ms. Adele, make sure that they're shredding the right direction, because I was at a special ed conference and they shred it up and down, and no, they shred it this way, and you can still see every student's name, social security number, ID, and everything. So they're gonna shred, just follow up that they shred the correct way where you can't see information.
I think they do a lot of the healthcare industries, and they do almost everybody, yeah.
Yeah, it was a school district, and I said, look at this, they picked up all the centerpieces. Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Letter K, approval of competitive C proposal
Move for
25-08,
approval.
Second,
oil for 180,000. First, motion by Dr. Lemia, second, Ms. Vela. Any questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Letter L, approval of competitive seal proposals
approval.
25
second,
for 60,000. Motion by Dr. Lemia, second by Ms. Vela. Any questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Before I get to letter M, Dr. Salinas, I'd like to make a request that all our directors and coordinators are in the audience, that they can just sit in the front area. They're all way back there. We can't see them, and we have questions, we can look, but I'd like for them to be sitting in the first couple of rows so we can see them.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay?
Good idea.
Letter M, the approval of competitive seal proposal
Move for approval.
26, Bark
Second.
Lift, $90,000. Motion from Ms. Carmen, second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions on letter M? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I need a motion to go to closed session.
so moved.
Second.
Ms. Vela first, second, Ms. Garcia. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
7:46.
We're-
Same time.
Call the meeting back to order. For the record, no action was taken in the executive session. It is approximately 9:12 p.m. Mr. Superintendent?
Yes, sir. Section 551.074, Personnel Matters. Number one, curriculum assistant for Florida Zapata Elementary. Administration recommends Nidia Alanis.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? In the future, please bring us a salary of those individuals starting
Yes,
the
sir.
next board meeting.
Yes, sir.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
And then number 4, 5, and 6, legal counsel.
Yes, Mr. Board President, members of the board, with respect to item 3, consideration of possible action regarding the proposed the termination of at-will employee Arnulfo Gonzalez. It's the advice of council that the board accept the superintendent's recommendation to terminate the employee.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by me, second by Louis and Ms. Flores. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Number 4, Mr. Board President, consideration of and possible action regarding the proposed termination of at-will employee Silvia Reina. It's the advice of council that the board accept the superintendent's recommendation to terminate employee.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by myself, second by Dr. Alamia. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Item number 5, Mr. Board President, consideration of and possible action regarding the proposed termination of at-will employee Soledad Luis Manriquez. It's the advice of council that the board accept the superintendent's recommendation to terminate employee.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by me, second by Dr. Lamia. Any questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I need a motion for adjournment.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Lamia, second from Ms. Carmen, and the time is 9:14.